Welcome back to another video. So I've already done my natural nail prep and I have my base gel layer laid down. So I'm gonna go right in and begin applying my gel extensions. To attach them to my natural nails, I will be using the Yoga Zombie base gel. I'm gonna run through the application pretty quickly because I do want this video to be more focused on the nail art. But if you've never seen gel extensions, basically you do need to prep your natural nails. I've already done that, so if you're not sure how to do that, you can check out my last video here where we pretty much go in depth with everything you need to do before you apply your gel extensions. Then you're gonna place a little bit of gel on the bottom half of the extension, line it up with your cuticle area and press down slowly in a 45-degree angle. Make sure you have a good grip on the extension because we're basically gonna let the gel free flow towards the tip of the natural nail. And once it hits the tip, I'm gonna go ahead and flash cure it for about 10 seconds. As you're flash curing, if you notice any gel start to seep from the sides, the bottom, make sure you clean it up immediately with a flat brush and alcohol because we don't want any gel left on the skin. If you leave uncured gel on the skin, it can cause a lifelong allergy, aka contact dermatitis, so please be careful. Once I flash cure my thumb, I am going to place my hand in my big lamp for 60 seconds to fully cure the gel. The extensions are on and fully cured, but I did want to add a very thin layer of a no wipe top gel underneath them and then fully cure it once I'm done. As I was thinking about the design I had in mind, I realized I did not want to do another stiletto nail look, but I already had the stiletto on, so I decided to trim them down a bit. But I have these extensions that I really like the length, they're just slightly too short for me, so I decided to use them as a guide. One thing I will say though, I'm using my cuticle nippers to trim these. Please be careful when you're doing this. When I tell you, as soon as I clipped the length, it would hit my palm. It hurt so bad. And I thought I was tilting my hand downward enough so it would fall directly on the desk. I was not. So make sure you have your protective eyewear on because the last thing you would want is this hitting you in the face or in the eyes of all places. So here's what we have. This definitely needs some cleanup, so I'm taking an 80/80 grit file and I'm going to do that really quickly. And as you can see, there is plenty of dust everywhere, so I thought it would be no big deal for me to pull out my e-file for this video and grab my Pana 5-in-1 bit and go around the cuticle area to make sure everything is sitting nice and flush. And at this point, I'm going to wash my hands because it was just too much dust and I had lotion on and it was sticking, so to the bathroom we go. Then I'm going to take a drop of acetone and go around the cuticle area to make sure they're nice and sealed. I don't want any water, hair getting caught under this, and I also don't want any lifting because, believe it or not, I'm not using a peel off base coat. I actually want these to last for a few weeks. So we're going to do this and make sure everything is good to go. To get these extensions ready for nail art, do a slight buff to remove the shine. If you're not in the mood to buff, you can definitely apply a gel base coat. It's up to you. Now these extensions are on, prepped, ready to go. Let's jump right into the nail art. First up, I'm gonna grab this black shade here, and this is going to be our base. So no pink, no beige, all black. And I'm applying a thin layer of this. Now this is my first time using this product, so I can't tell you how it holds up long term just yet, but I can give you first impressions. It went on smoothly and I would consider this to be one coat coverage. I did notice once I cured it, there was no sticky tacky layer left behind as well. So I'm excited to keep using this. Next, I'm grabbing a few shades from the Rozyhip Quartz Collection. And let me tell you, one thing about Rozyhip, I can appreciate a brand who puts together collections with a theme and the colors actually match the theme to a T. They do not disappoint. I have loved every single thing they have come out with thus far. This collection has blues, purples, greens, giving you like an earth tone vibe. I'm not sure if you remember, but in the Rozyhip Gemstone Collection video, I used a green shade and a lot of you said in the comments, girl, why didn't you use the blue? And I thought to myself, they're right. The gemstone and the quartz collection are not the exact same, but they are similar because they both have a silky and magnetic gel polish. So I thought we can use the blue because these two shades right here were calling my name. So that's what we're going to be using. And then I'm going to be taking a blue from the Rozyhip Ultra Flash collection because I want to use this to complement the two shades from the quartz collection. So we're going to get started. I am going to be grabbing the darkest shade out of the two and I'm applying this to the nail first. But when you're applying magnetic gels, make sure that you're not applying too much pressure because you don't want streaks when you go to use your magnet. So the best thing to do is make sure there's a good amount of polish on your brush and float the brush gently, starting at the cuticle area and then working your way towards the tip. Once I've applied the gel polish to the nail, I'm going to be taking the magnet that comes with the set and moving these particles around. I'm starting off by holding the magnet parallel to the nail on the right hand side of the screen. Then I'm going to hold it at the tip of the nail, and then I'm going to hold it at the cuticle area. So basically I'm going to get those magnetic particles in the center of the nail to give it a cat eye like effect. And you can keep doing this until everything looks the way you want it. And do y'all see how vibrant this blue is? It is stunning. I was in awe when I was sitting here doing the look, and even doing the voiceover, it still shocked me. Before I cure, I am going to clean up the cuticle area just a little bit, taking a brush and some alcohol. And then once I'm done, I decided to fully cure this finger in a lamp. The thumb and the middle finger are going to have a different design from the rest of the nails. So I'm going to be applying the gel polish the same, but when I'm grabbing my magnet, I'm going to be doing a different placement. So I'm going to start off just like I did with the first nail, but then you're going to notice me start to go in a circular motion because I want all of those particles concentrated in the center in an oval shape, kind of like an orb. At least that's what we're going to be calling it for the duration of this video. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing for the middle finger as well. You'll notice that I'm going in between the bar magnet and a gold magnet. The gold magnet is just easier for me to hold, so when I want to do that circular motion, it's not uncomfortable. But I will say the magnet that comes in the kit is super strong. I accidentally laid this next to other magnets and it pulled everything so hard that it broke my magnets. So I guess that's a great thing. Instead of doing a full cure, I did decide that I'm going to flash cure my middle finger and thumb so that I can work on the other nails. For the rest of the nails, I'm going to do them the exact same way I did the first nail. So basically holding the bar magnet to the side of the nail, the tip of the nail, and the cuticle area, and going back and forth until it looks exactly the way we want it to. So here's what the first layer of blue is looking like. I'm going to go ahead and pop my hand in my bigger lamp for 60 seconds to make sure everything is fully cured. Take the second shade here, and I'm going to apply this on top of everything. So you'll notice that there's a difference between the first shade we use and this one. This one, if you apply it to the nail, you'll notice the magnetic particles have more of a green tint to it. And so I wanted it to be like a blue-green shift happening on the nail. But I'm basically just following the pattern with my magnet that I already have on the nail, making sure the green is complementing the blue. A key thing with magnetic gels is to not assume that the color of the bottle is going to be the exact color that the magnetic particles are. Sometimes the polishes will have a base color, but then when you grab your magnet, you'll notice a different color shift. So that's pretty much what's happening here. You'll notice that both of them have a blue base, but once you start getting that magnet out, we have one that has a royal blue magnetic shift, and then this one has a greenish magnetic shift. So you do want to swatch your colors, of course, before using them so you know what kind of shift is happening, because you don't want to be surprised. Like, you don't want to go in thinking you have a shade you don't really have. Okay, I was having so much fun with the middle finger. I kept going back and forth because I loved how you can see the green and the blue. I was just like, ooh, this is fun. Having the time of my life here. Now I'm going to be taking this shade from the Ultra Flash collection, and it's a light blue reflective glitter. I wanted it to look like little mini stars are sitting in a night sky. So I'm taking some of this glitter and I'm gently placing it on the nail, but I don't want too much happening here. So you can see I'm kind of applying it a little sporadically, but then I'm going to take my brush, begin spreading out some of that reflective glitter and blending it. So the glitter isn't sitting in one part of the nail, because when you look up at the sky, the stars aren't just sitting in one area, they're spread out. So now I'm going to go ahead and cure. We'll be doing an isolated chrome design technically. I'm going to grab my doughy matte top and apply it all over the nail, because this is going to prevent the chrome powder from sticking in areas we don't want it to. So apply a thin layer of this and then fully cure it for 60 seconds. There will be two separate designs for this part. Let's work on the ring finger and the pointer finger first though. Taking some Crazy Top Thick and a liner brush, I am going to start making a swooping motion starting at the inner left-hand corner and working my way towards the right for the pointer finger. Basically, this is going to be a molten chrome look. You all love the molten gold, the molten silver looks, so I decided to give you molten bronze. And I wanted you to see that you can actually switch this up and you don't have to do a neutral base every single time you want to do a look like this. you can play with different colors underneath the molten chrome look, and it's really cool. At least I think it's cool, but I'm glad that these designs are being received well because I really like doing them. They're really fun. So I'm taking my thin liner brush and I'm just making S-like shapes on the nail. But when my finger is facing me on the left-hand side of the screen, I'm going to make it so that it's looping inward. So you'll notice that every time I get a line on the nail, I'm flash curing for a couple of seconds. And it's because I want to keep layering these lines over and over again because I want it to have this like intertwining, like squiggly texture. And then once I go to the tip, you know what it reminded me of? You know how we have those like antique curtains and it like drapes? That's what I was going for at the tips. I don't know why my mind went there. Next, I'm grabbing my silicone tool and I'm gonna pick up some of this bronze chrome and gently rub it on top of those clear lines. You'll notice here that the ring finger and the pointer finger don't look exactly alike. The ring finger needs some more lines, but I'll do that later. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do on the pinky finger just yet, so I'm gonna hold off and begin working on the middle finger instead. So next I'm taking this round brush here. I'm gonna be dipping this in Crazy Top Thick and go around the perimeter of the nail. But when I get to the sides of the nail, I start curving the brush in an S-like motion. Look something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and cure this for now. At this point, I did realize what I wanted to do for the pinky finger. I wanted it to match the pointer and the ring finger. So I'm gonna do that really quickly. And then take some bronze chrome and place it on top of the areas that I laid down the Crazy Top Thick. This is really just my base, and I want you all to be able to see what I'm doing because we're gonna add some more squiggly lines here. So now we're gonna go ahead and finish up the middle finger and the thumb. So there's this space right in the middle, and we're gonna call this space the blob because it reminds me of the slime from Nickelodeon back in the day. The only difference is that was green and this is blue. But I'm going to outline my blob with Crazy Top Thick because I pretty much want to make sure the shape doesn't change. It's gonna kind of look like a window by the time I'm done with it. And maybe not a window, more like a picture frame. Once I have my blob outlined, I'm gonna do a flash cure and begin adding some more detail onto the nail. And to add some more detail, I'm just taking a thin liner brush and some more Crazy Top Thick and doing those S-like shapes once again. But this time I'm making sure not to go past my outline. Once I'm done, I'm gonna go back in with my bronze chrome, and this time I'm using an applicator sponge to cover a greater area. But before I seal this all in, I do want to add some more of that reflective glitter that we used earlier on the other fingers because I did still want this to have a little sparkle like some stars as well. So I'm doing the same thing, putting a little bit of it right in the center and then taking a brush and blending it out. And I'm gonna grab some more Crazy Top Thick. This might as well just be a Crazy Top Thick video. But no, I'm taking a dotting tool and then I'm gonna add it right on top of my blob. So here's the thing with this. You get to pick how raised you want your blob to be. If you want it super raised and protruding, you can add more Crazy Top Thick. If you want it a little flat, just add a little bit. But the key here is that I want it to look like a gemstone a little bit. I think I'm reaching here, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. Before curing, I am going to flip the nail upside down and take my thin liner brush and make sure the Crazy Top Thick is evenly distributed. And then I'm going to cure this for a full 60 seconds when I'm done. And finally, I'm going to seal everything in with my top gel. I recommend using a low to medium viscosity here so that you don't lose the texture and the detail you have on the nail. And then do my final cure. And here are what the nails look like all done. So this look I thought was going to be simple, chill, but you know what? As I'm looking at my nails, these are the most dramatic nails I've done so far, but I'm liking them. It makes me feel like I can hop on a spaceship right now and head to space and still be cute, you know? But if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more dramatic looks like this, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And of course, everything I mentioned and used will be linked in the description box. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you do so on your way out. But in the meantime, I will see you in one of these videos here.